Fellas, ladies, it's Thursday morning. I forgot to put something in the podcast, but I felt it was very, very important. If I win the fantasy football playoffs this year, if I take first place, I will be recusing myself from the championship pot, the gold, the loot. I will be giving that to next year's pot. That means if I win, the $180 that would go to me would in fact go to next year's winner. This is me being a man of honor. This has nothing to do with karma or applying any sort of positive luck into next year. I just want to be a man of the people, a man that loves this fantasy football league, who's not motivated by money, but is in fact motivated by glory and honor and championships and winning for the right reasons. So I would love to give everybody a little cheers here. Good luck on the playoffs this week. And yeah, enjoy the podcast. Bye bye.
Taking battle stations, I ain't on vacation. I'm just glowing up, living out aspirations. I beat the expectations and change the generations. And I'm still jumping fences, and you're just imitation. They're all in second places, but I don't live for praises. I play this life like a game, levels and stages. Let me paraphrases, then do a couple pages. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Let me introduce you to a brand new thing. No one gonna prove to. You're looking at the king. This life may choose you, so raise your wings. Watch this, watch this, watch this. This is a brand new thing. They've been calling me mad for 20 years, but it takes a little crazy when you're facing fear.
Oh boy, what a week. It's your host, Matty Ice here. Episode 14, DynasTangy podcast. We are officially past the regular season. Round of applause. Did not think we'd make it this far. It's a lot of podcasts to record and a lot of drama in the chat, but we got through it. Shout out to the bye week boys, me and James, Ben, and Sean. The most active people in the league all got a bye week. Congrats, boys. Let's fucking go. Love to see it. Ben and me each have a bye week in the playoffs. And it's awesome. I'd just like to shout out my team. Pat on the back. 5 wins in a row from 11th place to 2nd place. Just a steamroll. Just an absolute unit running through this league all off of the... Look, this has been the greatest run in fantasy football I've had in my entire life. I'm riding a high that I've never had before. Drugs don't come close to the feeling that I get in... Look, and then on the opposite end, Ben, he's just been kind of coasting, gets first place, doesn't really care. I respect that a lot. Let's just go over real quick the other playoff teams. Scott absolutely snuck in. We'll talk about that matchup later. John lost, but still was able to get into the playoffs. And last for the playoffs, Maxi Poo. And you know it feels good, Max. You just know it feels good because Sean talked a lot of smack. No one thought you were going to win. Me and James both predicted you to lose. And you pulled through. Your team, absolute tank. And you didn't even have Kenneth Walker. So, like, hey, welcome back, dude. Welcome fucking back. You love to see it. You may not have scored that high, but it was like 3rd highest in the league. Me and you up there, right around the same. This will be the last podcast. We're going to take a bye week next week. We're going to allow the playoffs to happen. Obviously, big news for Sean and James. They get a bye week in the shit ship, and that means that they're guaranteed to move on to the next level, thus getting them one step closer to being the worst team in fantasy. If Sean somehow manages to get last place, it will be the greatest last place team ever assembled, and would quite possibly the worst luck I've ever seen. The rest of you nerds are out. Let's pour one out for Eric Hansen. This was basically his last game that mattered. If he gets last place, it doesn't matter because he's not in the league anymore. So we're really hoping Eric doesn't get last place because then we can't make fun of him next year. And then, the rest of you turds are going to be playing. So it's been a great year. Never had more fun. Highest points for. Shout out the boys. We'll hit up the stats with James, and then we will swing over and go over last week's matchups. Let's go, boys.
I'm the stat man. Alrighty, it's time for our weekly analytics powered by Dix. Let's start off by the same way we always have with our weekly standings. Congrats to those of you who have made the playoffs: Ben, Matt, Casey, Scott, John, and Max. All you played hard and now are in the hunt for that season ring. Looking at the toilet bowl, the season has been a little rough for Andy, Eric, KKK, Ryan, Sean, and myself. But hey, someone's got to take last place. Hopefully it's not you, but also hopefully it's not me. Looking at the median alternate rankings, Matt and Ben would still have first week buys. Max, you would not be in the playoff contention. Instead, I would be in there. I know what you're all thinking. James, I bet you wish there was a median, don't you? And to that, I still say, hell no. Even though I would go from last place to 5th place, playing against a median and a head-to-head just leads to anticlimactic weeks where you win but you also lose. Being an all-in kind of guy, going big or going home, I'm currently at home in 12th place. It's great to see everybody in triple-digit average points for at the end of the normal season. A lot of very close averaging teams. First to last is only a 23-point differential. Matt being out front heading into the playoffs, and Casey has made his way back up to second after a few rough weeks. Ryan is the lucky duck this week. Congrats, Donnie, with an 82% luck rating. Also, sorry, Eric, KKK. You are the most unlucky player, as your chances of a playoff spot were crushed this week. You played great, and you would have beat most of the league, actually, if the schedules were different. Season luck hasn't changed that much. You have 3 people tied for the most luck over the season, and then it drops off pretty hard. Even though there are some pretty large numbers at the bottom, most people in the league had a positive luck season, so congrats to you guys for beating up on us unlucky saps down here at the bottom. Yikes, this week it looks like Scott and Sean weren't their normal selves. I'd imagine Scott would be talking more sauce after just barely squeaking into the playoffs this year with his abysmal team. There was a message from Eric, which was kind of a rare occasion for him. When John has the most increase in weekly messages with 5, you know it's been a bad week. And lastly, we have our season messages. We ended the normal season just short of 30k total messages. But what a great season it's been. Ownership of these total messages shared has not really changed in a while. Well, boys, it's been great doing stats for you. Next year, we plan on having more stats that will change a bit from week to week to keep things interesting during this segment. Best of luck to all of you in the playoffs. Matt, back to you. What will the final scores be? Into the future he tries to see, but who will know if he's wrong or right? Predictions with Matty Ice him.
All right, boys. We're in predictions. Matty Ice here, as you may know. Let's go over last week's predictions. James, 2 out of 6. Me, 2 out of 6. That's 2 losers. Ding, 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 ding. That's more money for everybody.
4 misses from each of us means that we're each putting $4 into the pot, raising James's total to 15 and my total to not 4. That means there's a total of 19 in the pot for the winner. And on top of what they're already going to make from the league dues, that's a big, big dub for the boys. And this week we're going to make our predictions for who wins the championship. What's up?
Possibly 20 more.
Yeah, possibly 20 more if we each get our prediction wrong. So that's exciting. That's very exciting. Oh, man. So we will predict the winners at the end. We'll just go over the matchups real quick. Matchup 1, we have Beach Clancy versus Bye Week. I'm going to predict that Ben wins. Congratulations, Ben. Awesome dub. Round 2, here you go. Matchup 2, we got Icebox versus Little C's. Man, this is going to be a barn burner. And by barn burner, I mean John is going to completely destroy Scott's butthole. Look, Scott's team, complete trash. John's team, bit of a powerhouse when it's healthy. But Scott has won every week. Doesn't matter. He just wins with shit teams. He just wins. And so for whatever reason, I just feel like Scott's going to win and John will somehow lose. And it'll probably be a score of like 102 to 99 to like 91. Scott gets the dub because for whatever reason, Scott just has incredible fantasy football defense. So congratulations, Scott, on your win. You will be playing Ben, who will trample you next week, and he will have a free ride to the chip. What a fucking loser fucking league. Congrats, Scott. Matchup 3, we have Serial Vapus versus Bye. Serial Vapus takes the dub, moves on to round 2. Congratulations. Very exciting. And yeah, good luck on your matchups next week. All right, matchup 4, Grey Goose versus Eskimo. Eskimo. And honestly, this is looking like a pretty juicy matchup for Casey. But I just have this sneaking feeling that his team's going to blow ass and Max is going to move on. This is just Max's year. Casey objectively has a better team. But I think Max might get Kenneth Walker back. And I just have a feeling that Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker, Jalen Hurts, I think Max scores like $120. And I don't think Casey does. Casey's team has been riding on the back of Josh Jacobs and Stephon Diggs. And it just, for whatever reason, it just feels like one of those weeks where it's just going to be like a poo-poo game. I hate to say it, but Max, I think you get the dub. I'm going to give it to you. Yeah, Casey, after this, you're going to wish you had that bye week. I'm sorry, dude. Peace out. Congrats, Max. Let's get on to the toilet bowl matchups. This is the shit matchups for the toilet bowl pooper of the year. Week 1, or matchup 1, we have Von Strugen versus Bye. Congratulations, 12th place. Bye week, party. You'll be moving on to the next round. Congrats. And now we have to do this in reverse because if you lose, you move. If you win, you're done. So Eric Hansen versus Eric Pakila.
Another battle of the Erics.
Yeah, this is the third battle of the Erics. Eric, this is it. If you win, you're out. And Eric, if you win, you're out. And honestly, I'm kind of thinking Eric might win this one. And then Eric's going to have to change his name to the other Eric spelling, which I do really hope is Eric. So congrats, Eric. Nice win. Matchup 3, Sean versus Bye. 11th place. Congratulations on your loss. to the bye week, and you will be in round 2 with James. Very unfortunate. Your team is very good. You shouldn't be here. Neither should James. It's all bullshit. Fantasy's a lie. Moving on. Final matchup, Andy versus Donnie. Donnie, I think you get the dub this week. I really do. I'm looking at Andy's team. He had a lot of spot starts for some unlikely to continue production players. So I'm going to give Donnie the dub this week. He will no longer be in the shit bowl, and Andy will move on, and I believe he will play. I don't know who he's going to play. So, all right. That was predictions with Matty Ice. We'll do a quick little shout out here before we leave, and then we'll finish the episode. See you in a second. So we're going to go over playoffs here real quickly, and we're going to talk about some things, and we're going to give our predictions for the winners. Next week, we may not do a podcast. I was actually being serious. There will be less and less to talk about, and I think it'd be easier to recap the playoffs and do a podcast for the championship round than do the round 2 where it's just 2 teams or whatever like that. So we may just wait until the championship, which is why we're doing the predictions now. As James alluded to earlier, I may be in a bit of a sticky situation here. I can vote for myself, or I can vote for another team and hedge my bet, which means if I win, I lose the money, but I also win money. And it kind of works out because if I win, I have to pay $10 into the pot, but then I get it, which is pretty cool. Didn't think about that earlier. If I bet on somebody else and I win, then
You just don't owe $10.
yeah, I just don't owe $10. So this is kind of an incredible situation I'm in. But as luck would have it, I'm a man of honor and a man of wisdom. And as I've done every week this year, I will vote for myself to win the chip, because that is what a man of honor does. He believes in his team, he believes in his boys, and he doesn't back down from a challenge. I'll either lose or I'll win, but I'll always know I believed in my team. So I will give my team the benefit of the doubt and say that I am going to win this year. I shit you not, if I win fantasy this year, it will be on par with my wedding coming up, in being engaged, potential kid whenever that happens in the future, graduating college, a lot of big events in my life. This would be up there. I'd take this over a Packers Super Bowl. I really would. Well, no, actually, I think I'd rather have a Packers Super Bowl, but it's very close. So I'm going to pick my team to win, and that is going to be it for me. I will give the mic over to James here. He can talk about his Super Bowl or his chip winner.
All right. Matt went with himself. That was to be expected. I've said it before, and I'm probably going to say it at least one more time, especially to you all. Seems I'm no longer just really caring at all about chat. I said, if I don't win it, I want there to be a three-peat. I want there to be a three-peat. Going into the playoffs, he is very much an underdog. But you know what? I don't want Matt to win. I don't want Ben to win. All those guys have done is pillage and abuse this team. And I think it would just be a poetic justice that he beats them in the ship. One of them, don't care which one. Actually, it would have to be Ben. So I'm going to go with probably the underdog, if not very close. I think Scott might technically actually be the underdog here. I'm going to go three-peat Max. You know, that's just how it is. We were hoping for Team 10 last year. Max this year. Max, go get that third ring. You'd only be a few behind Tom Brady at that point.
All right, boys. James got his prediction in. I got mine in. I will say the three-peat from Max would be pretty incredible. Though I'd much prefer if I got the dub. This has been a good year this year. It's been a very fun year. We only had one person quit, which is statistically on average with our other years. Incredible. Nice work, guys. Scott, huge round of applause to you. Awesome year. We will do the matchup championship podcast not next week, but the week after, leading into it, as well as the Shit Bowl podcast. And then we will do our final podcast after the league is done. So we won't talk to you for 1 week, but we will see how the predictions look going into the final week next time we see you. Good luck to all your matchups this week if you're playing. And if you're not, congrats. So from my family to yours, Merry Christmas if we don't see you, and Happy New Year's. I'm out.